Hello and welcome to CEO Insights, the Living Organization podcast with Vitaly Gieman. That's me, with me, Carolien Voss. Welcome, Carolien,
Hello.
first.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. You're all the way from Netherlands. And maybe if you actually, why don't you introduce your company for a second and tell us what you do?
I work for the RIPE NCC. We are a regional internet registry, and our service region is Europe, Middle East, and Eastern Europe, and a part of Southeast Asia. My role is Chief Human Resources Officer, so I'm responsible for the whole policy development around human resources, people, making sure that we have a health and safe work environment and a healthy culture. And I am also accountable for the facilities and support area of the organization.
Oh, wonderful. And you have beautiful facilities. We're just commenting on the background. Everything all glass, everything see-through. So it's a very see-through, transparent organization, right?
Yeah, being open is one of our core values, and our office indeed is really showing that open environment as well. It's in the middle of Amsterdam, and it's a really nice place to work. It really is an inspiring environment.
It's very important. We already started talking. Actually, the CEO Insight. Oh, there it is. You see on the bottom there is the living organization. So I didn't tell you previously, but I spent the last good 20 years, and in particular the last 7 years, looking for best standards in organizational health. How do we create organizations that are healthy for human beings and also healthy for profits? Because I'm still an executive. So today, maybe if you don't mind, let's look at, we already started talking about how the environment is quite challenging to keep people healthy and inspired because we're having so much change, right? Tell us more how your views, and you have a passion for psychology. So tell us the psychological aspects of how do we keep a healthy organization.
There are different aspects of a healthy organization, and of course, first of all, you have like the basics needs to be in order, so people need to understand what they can expect, what their role is, but also what kind of leadership is there and what they can expect from the leaders in the organization, and what their objectives are, what their accountabilities are. So I think that having clarity on the basics, that's the first part that is important. But secondly, the world is changing around us very rapidly, but also in organizations. So we need to be mindful that the speed of that things are changing are not always for every human being. They're not always able to handle that amount of change in such a fast pace. So as an organization, you need to be mindful of that and also make them part of the change that you want to drive. So not just putting it on them, but make them a stakeholder in the process, involve them in what the potential problem is, but also involve them in what the potential solution could be, and then really bring them along. My experience is when you don't do that, you have to repair a lot afterwards, and that in the end is taking also a lot of negative energy and a lot of time. While if you involve them upfront with everything that's happening, you have the buy-in, and at the same time they also feel seen and heard and be part of what's happening in the organization. And a lot is also communication, explaining why certain things go as they go and why certain changes are important for them, but also for the organization. And in the end, people want to understand what's in it for me. What can I gain out of this?
Yeah.
Involve them and make them part of it. I think that's important.
It makes so much sense. You know, we're all humans, right? And we are, I mean, we love giving to others, but we also want to know what's in it for self. What do I get for in terms of my growth, my career, my pay, my enjoyment, my passion, right? How does this so tell us, what are the instruments do we use these days as a as a CHRO, what are some of the top best standards in engaging people?
Well, for within the organization, for decision making, we implemented the FAIR process leadership decision making model, where you really involve key stakeholders from the start via different phases in the process. So that really helped in making sure that when there are company-wide projects where that involves a lot of change, that we follow that process properly. That's an ongoing learning process. It will not go right by from the start, but it really is starting to pay off. So that's good. But at the same time, we continuously also measure the well-being of staff, their engagement. So twice a year we do a survey, and based on that, the outcomes of that survey, we will have sessions. We have sessions with the different teams to explore more. Okay, what's really happening? And why are certain scores high? Why are certain scores low? What can we do different as an organization? But also, what can teams do differently within their team to increase the engagement and to increase the well-being of the people in the team? Also, we implemented different policies and procedures with the focus on organizational culture, code of conduct, but also what to do when unwanted behavior occurs. So, what are the reporting procedures? So, we also did a lot in that area. And last but not least, yeah, training and leadership development, because in the end, you can create a lot of nice policies and a lot of nice frameworks, but it's in the end the people that make the difference. So increasing their awareness, but also make them accountable for the behavior amongst each other, and yeah, repeat the message that we are doing this together, and yeah, we're all responsible to make our work environment a pleasant place.
No, absolutely. I like how you keep saying it's repeated. It's not just once off. You don't come in and say, "Hey guys, this is it. Now from now on, this is how you're going to behave."
No,
I mean, it
no.
doesn't
If you
happen
do
that
that,
way.
then nothing will happen. Then it's
Nothing.
forgotten within yeah, and that's also normal, because yeah, what happens if I have a super busy day and a busy week, then sometimes on Friday I don't even remember what I discussed on Monday. So yeah, how on earth can I then expect from the colleagues that they remember everything that is said? So no,
Well,
repetition is key, but
yeah,
also explaining why, and make it a bit, yeah, pleasant to listen to as well. That's also important.
absolutely. It's like being a parent. Like, you can't just tell them once and they're going to grow up. It takes a whole lifetime to
Yeah,
grow up, right? Yeah,
yeah, and they need to understand why it's important, and yeah, and then workshops we are doing as well, and that then in a very informal setting, we bring it yeah, to the attention as well. Important there is what we realized, we really need to make sure that it is a safe environment, and that uh, all the different personalities feel comfortable in sharing, and not necessarily sharing their whole life, but more sharing, okay, I have this situation, how can I handle that? I think that's important.
yeah. Keeping it very focused and productive rather than opening it up to,
Yeah,
because as psychologists, we can open up the Pandora's box, but can we close it?
exactly.
This is
Yeah.
work. This is not a psychotherapy session.
No, and
Yeah.
it can also be very scary for people when they have the feeling like, oh my God, this is like a group session, group therapy session. No,
Oh,
no, we should not go there. Really focus on what do we want to train, and give people the freedom to share what they want to share, and
absolutely.
not
Yeah.
feel pressure that they need to put their whole life on the table.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Particularly in our cultures, which tend to can be a little reserved. We want to reserve our a little bit of privacy to ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah, and I understand that as well. I can talk with my friends for ages, but it's not necessarily that I want to share everything with all my colleagues. Yeah.
No,
I'm
that's
quite
right.
open though, but yeah.
But to a point, right? No.
Yeah, to a certain extent, yes.
Yeah, being professional. Carolyn, thank you so
Yeah.
much. Really appreciate it. Appreciate that you were open with us to share your best practices, your wisdom. It's really important because I think in some way it sends a message as an organization is, hey, we're not just here to do, we also love to help in other organizations and so on. And as a nonprofit organization, I can feel that goodwill in you. So thank you.
Yeah, I'm very, very passionate about my job, so.
Thank you so much. We'll have you
And
back
thank you for
again.
having me. Yeah.
Absolutely. We'll have you back again. We'll talk more because, of course, in this very short time, we only covered a little bit of information.
Yeah, feel free to reach out.
Thank you.
Thank you.